All right, Cancer, welcome to your September astronumerology reading. And September is the ninth month in the ninth year. And that means the nine energy is going to be explosive this month. So you're going to feel it a double portion of the ninth energy. The ninth energy is the transition energy. So letting go, moving forward, endings, things of that nature. And it's going to happen in different parts of your chart. The ninth energy is also about travel and higher learning because that's the ninth house. The ninth house for you is Pisces, and Pisces is more of a internal, spiritual, homebody kind of energy and the culmination of everything. So it goes hand in hand for you that you're going to see things culminate into a final conclusion, things that you won't go back to. And this can be in any area. It can be a change in health routine. It can be a change in job, a change in cities, change in countries, a change in relationships, right? All over the map, lots of changes for you. It can also be a time for you to seek a spiritual guru because Pisces is representative of seeking spiritual knowledge. You know, Pisces is close to God in a sense. So this could be a time where you decide to get closer to God and however you define that. So that's what this ninth energy is going to be about. Cancer is already a very intuitive energy coming from all of the moon energy. So Cancer might be being more like Pisces, which is also an intuitive energy, and staying in the head. You have to be careful because this could put you in a mode of staying in the house, which could isolate you, could lead to other things like depression, um, things that don't really benefit you health wise, mentally, nor physically, nor spiritually. So you have to watch out for that. Try to go out, interact with people. So I have both of your charts open, your natal chart and your natal chart, mind you, I'm an astrologer. So I want you to know that your natal chart that I'm giving you is just the houses, the actual planets and things that are in those different houses. It's different, depends on when you were born. And actually depends on the time of birth. You might not have exactly um, the same houses. You have Cancer as your fourth and Leo as your fifth, true. But if you were born later in the day, you might shift over a little bit as we move further around. It's not exactly in the degree is not stable, right? So I'm going to give you the general characteristics of what's happened. Also, when I say day, if I say September 1st, remember my 3-day rule: one day before, day of, one day after. If I say 2 weeks, because if I say energy happens in the end of September, remember that energy can go 2 weeks into October. Okay, you guys get it. All right, so let's look at the first part. The Venus, the Mercury, the K2 energy is going together on one side. The Saturn and Rahu is going together on another side. Saturn is the energy that rules Sagittarius, excuse me, rules Aquarius and Capricorn. And Rahu is the energy that is explosive sometimes on a good way because Rahu brings the ability to get things done. Rahu would do what it takes to get things done, but you don't want to upset the Rahu energy because then Rahu will turn on you and K2 will come out. Okay. The K2 energy is with Venus and Mercury. And Venus, of course, the Taurus and Libra, right? Of balancing things, looking for things that I love, looking to beautify, to edify. Those energies are going together. For you, those energies are going over your actual eighth house. The Venus and the Mercury together are in the eighth, and actually it's on the cusp between the eighth and ninth house. So a little bit in both starting out in September. Starts out in the eighth house and shifts into the ninth house. And then it's not even getting into retrogrades of different energies that happen. So that means for you, the Aquarius energy is in your eighth house, and then the Pisces energy is in your ninth house. So together, those are areas that would be impacted by this energy that we see here. So when you look at the eighth house, a lot of times people look at the eighth house and they focus on the size of it, the sexual part of it, right? Because The Scorpio is known as the sexual person, but this is also a house of death and a house of research, a house of learning about the endings. And death can be death to the self, death to the flesh, not, or it could be a physical death, right? And when if it's a physical death in this term, it could be the physical death of a person, a male specifically, um, that is seen kind of as a father figure in this time. Or it could be the death of a relationship between a male, masculine energy and a feminine energy and a youthful energy. So it could be the transition from youth to another state. You're getting older and realizing it, right? So pay attention. So the energies, when you see the words, don't just think like, oh, somebody's going to be caught in a sexual scandal. Yes, that can happen. Someone could be caught in a sexual scandal. You may be caught in a sexual scandal, but there's other parts of it that could take place. Okay. Hopefully, it's not you caught up in a sexual scandal. All right. Hopefully, as you reading, doing research to try to learn about things, learn about chronic illnesses, to learn about poisons and things and ways to better your life and better your health and things of that nature. This could also be a time of having surgeries, cosmetic surgeries, because you don't necessarily feel so good. So you could be researching cosmetic things and deciding that you're going to get that little tuck, that little nip tuck thing that you might make that decision in September that you're going to let go of that fat in that area. And then you have to do the research. Be careful, do your due diligence because not all of that could turn out good for you. So just be smart about it. I would actually wait until October, but hey, that's me. Um, I just give you the energy. I would wait, but you might do the research now and then do everything else later. So then we move forward with the energies. The Saturn and the Rahu side of things is over there at your, looks like your fourth house. The Saturn and the Rahu together is moving there, which for you, that's the Libra energy, that's the balancing energy, needing to bring some balance back to home life, making sure that you aren't spending too much money, you aren't neglecting home, you aren't spending too much time at work, you are not getting things done. If something breaks, you're getting it repaired. Balance, and a need to make time for the things that matter. And oftentimes, when you're working, you don't really have time to rest and sleep. So it might be a need to rest and sleep. You might have some health issues that come up that cause you to rest and sleep. The body might take what it needs if you don't give it to it. So this is a good time to actually enjoy home, make your home your safe haven. Be careful of rain, be careful of flooding, water issues, because water issues continue to come up. So be careful of water issues related to the home. If you need to get your inspections of anything, get the inspections done. All right, let's move forward. Keep going. And your Cancer moon energy does show up in the home, where, of course, the Cancer moon energy likes to be closer to that area because Cancer in general is a home body, and the home is your safe haven. Make sure you're continuing to keep it there. You might have some things revealed about the home, but you also might have some things revealed about in your fifth house of children and lessons. So you might have some things come up there, course, related to anything and grandchild, a mother of children. So you might have some lessons come up. Let's go forward. Anything? You have pretty much a stable month, no major issues until the end of the month around the 23rd. Go back one. Around the 22nd, where you have some extra Virgo energy shows up with this Mercury and the moon also. And so and this is actually in your 10th house of career. And so at this point, you might have to do a little bit of planning. There's something about starting over and being youthful and being excited about what you're doing. If you don't have that excitement and that I can get up every day and do it, you might want to look at starting a new career path. That's the 22nd is when this energy is showing up. So you might start making plans to get into something else later on. Go forward. And that is also some Aries and some Aries and Mars. And now I don't say this too often. You might abruptly decide to leave your job at the end of the month. You might abruptly decide that here's the 2 weeks, and y'all, it might not even be 2 weeks. You might be like, I'm done, and just explode and be out. That's the energy. So this is energy, right? What do? You work with the energy. If you know that kind of energy is in you, maybe you ought to call off work that day if you really need the job instead of just blowing up on people, which Cancer is not necessarily in your nature to blow up on people, but given the right aspects, you got Rahu and Ketu lining up with each other, makes for a very fiery combination. Mars is not too far off of it, and it could just be that one thing that triggers, and all of a sudden you're like, this is it. I'm over it. I'm out. I'm done with it. So, all right, Cancer, that's what I have for you. Bye.